My brothers and sisters in Christ, today's first reading, as I mentioned in my homily on Sunday, this was part of our same first reading from Sunday, but this reading is one that at first glance, and certainly this is how I used to read it in past years, seems almost Pollyannish or just something that has no application to us today. It speaks of the early church, of one in mind and heart and belief, and it describes like they're living on a commune. The way in which they all come together and everyone brings all their resources and put them at the feet of the apostles and they take care of everything. We look at our current world and say, okay, that's just not realistic. But it still speaks to something that should be part of our life now, not necessarily in that simplicity of form. Again, the places where we see that to this day as kind of a countercultural witness, we still see this, for example, in religious communities. Ask any consecrated religious, who have taken a vow of poverty and live where there's the appointed heads of the order that all of their goods and donations that come are pooled together and they share all their things in common. So there are places of this that offer this witness, but even for the life of the church itself, this is no longer realistic. In the United States, the church can't function if you don't, on top of just normal functions, if you don't have the layer of accounting and tax people and lawyers and IT and everything under the sun. There's a regulatory environment, a U.S. legal environment, all of these things. But behind all of that is still the same truth, which is the community of believers is called to conduct its affairs differently than the world. And that is that we are called to start first by taking care of our own. This is what we are seeing play out in the Acts of the Apostles here. And in fact, in the time of the Roman Empire, the Christian communities win converts amongst their own number because others witness that they love one another differently. The way in which they take care of their own in their close-knit communities is something that's very starkly different. And I would contend that this is just as true today as it was in the first century. In a world that is fragmented, in which people don't even know their neighbor anymore, in the places they live, we're very detached. The Christian community is called to look different. That we are called to be in bonds with one another, to know one another, to look out for one another. And so whether it's literally of selling a piece of property and putting it at the apostles' feet, most people aren't going to just drive in and put the gift at their bishop's feet. But in the same way, every time, whether it's putting money in the collection plate, making a donation, contributing to DSF, offering our time at the parish, to help people out in need, or walking with moms program, all of these things, back to the old time, talent, and treasure adage. But every time we offer of ourselves to look out for one another, starting with our own community, the families at home, when we get to know one another that we see in the pews at church, to notice if someone's been gone for a while, or to notice if something's happened in the family, to have concern, to care, to welcome the stranger into our midst. These are the basic building blocks of a Christian way of life. And then the way we love one another transforms us to go out into the other parts of the world and show this same charity that truly is different from what the world knows. And it can be captivating. This, as this upcoming Sunday, we will hear in the gospel Jesus say, "You are witnesses." This is the witness we are called to, my brothers and sisters. Charity starts at home. May God bless you all.